Is a man's world, and it's Keem here. Today I'm gonna go over steroids, right? This past weekend I went and kicked it with a couple buddies in Pennsylvania, right? And there we kind of talked about different compounds. Last week, like Thursday or something, Thursday, Wednesday, talked with another buddy that I hadn't seen in a long time. We were just talking about different compounds as well. Um, and I'm gonna go, briefly, right? Briefly. I'm gonna go into like my experience before and after the transformations, um, and I'll take from there. So, myth kind of number one thing, right? Do you have to stay on steroids forever, right? Is there a coming off, right? No, you don't have to stay on steroids for forever if you ever hop on. And yes, there is a coming off. Now, that period of you coming off, it might be a little different for some people, right? Some people might feel like shit. Some people might not, right? Um, I didn't feel horrible, I didn't feel too different, right? So, I guess it kind of just depends on the person, right? I have no idea of what differentiates someone having a horrible time coming off and someone having a better time coming off. It just depends on your testosterone, right? Um, Now, when I first started juicing, I was bodybuilding in Thailand, right? Um, and the story is I kind of like I kind of walked into a conversation that this bodybuilder was having with a couple other people. And then we had a conversation, and then from there then on, I was pumping iron like crazy. So when I first started, I was um I was really skinny. I was like 165 pounds, and I was a 400-meter hurdler, right? So I wasn't like, you know, I had too much, right? And so it's crazy because over the course of 90 days, right? Mind you, the closer that you get to a bodybuilding competition, the more compounds that you're on, right? So I started off on test, then we added trim, and then we added this, and then we added that. You know what I'm saying? So I went from 165 to competition day. I was a solid like 180, solid 180, right? After competition, because I was like extremely dehydrated, right? And I finally, put a lot of fluids back in my body. After the competition, within a couple of days, I was like 200 pounds, right? So literally went from 165 to 200 within like 90 days, right? Now there are some cool things and there are some shitty things, right? About hopping on whatever you decide to hop on, right? Um, the the shitty part is your hormones, right? So they say every 3 4 months or so, something like that, you kind of want to like get your blood checked, right? And kind of just make sure that you're good to go, right? This is outside of juicing, right? What's going on, man? What's going on, Hector? But while you're juicing, you definitely want to make sure that you are getting your blood checked. Why? Because like when hormones do this kind of crazy thing and you're not sure what's going on, you become an asshole to the people around you. You know what I'm saying? And then they kind of like back off, and you just don't want to you don't want to be a dick and not know it, right? So that's the reason why you definitely want to get your blood checked when you're juicing, or if you decide. I'm not saying that I'm not promoting it, right? I'm just saying my experience. But if or when you ever try, you definitely want to make sure that you get your blood checked throughout the time that you're juicing, and then as well as after, to make sure that that regulation type of process, is good to go. Um, and that's another thing, right? So some people think like the moment that you stick yourself, you just become this massive Ronnie Coleman. No, I know one dude for sure that because some people really don't say or tell other people that they're juicing, whatever, da da da. So I know one dude for sure um, that was juicing that had literally no type of transformation at all, like no results, right? And because like you you can't have the thought that just because you stick yourself, you're gonna get huge, right? He was an overweight dude to begin with, and even though he was taking testosterone, he was still doing dumbass overweight shit. Like wasn't tracking his food, still eating the normal dumbass shit that got him to where he was. So he saw literally no results. And so like he's like, yeah, man, I just don't want my girlfriend to find out that I'm, doing this, doing that. And I'm just thinking to myself, bro, she's never gonna find out, right? You don't look like you've been doing anything. You haven't been tracking your stuff. Your workouts suck. You know what I'm saying? So you still gotta have some type of structure, like while you're juicing, right? Because you're not gonna have you're not gonna have nothing to show for it. You're just gonna be sticking yourself, right, for no reason. You're gonna be putting yourself in harm's way for no reason and not even getting the result, right? So make the risk worth the reward, right? Um, and yeah, so hormones, make sure you get your hormones checked every 3 to 4 months. Um, if you if and when you come off, no, you don't have to stay on for forever. I so when I was bodybuilding, that was like maybe a year or two, maybe. I haven't juiced since like maybe early 2023 or early 2022. Um, all my normals, or all my like hormones or whatnot are back to like where they should be from the last time that I've checked. Haven't gotten them checked in a long time, but I definitely should. Um, I kept a lot of size, right? So I went from 165 to 215. And for the comfort of myself, I'm back at 185. For me, being that big, 5'10", my knees didn't feel the greatest. I wasn't stretching that much, so you just kind of walk around like, you know what I'm saying, like very stiff. Um, yeah, I was out of breath, like walking down the stairs and shit. So like, I like to have muscles, right? I like to look strong. I like to look like I got some type of power, but I also want to be able to move as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want to feel like a NFL lineman, an immobile NFL lineman, right? I never want to be in that position, right? So, um, so that's that. Just make sure that you keep yourself in check, hormone wise. Eat your food, lift the way that you're supposed to. And if and when you ever decide to hop on certain compounds, you'll be good to go. And then also make sure you're getting your blood checked, and then yeah, you're straight. You're good to go. Lastly, before I go, while I'm talking about workouts and juicing and whatnot, on my website I do have a free week of workouts that includes like structure for a meal plan. So you can find that on my website. It'll be in the link. Should be in the link in the description below. www.keemfit.com. But outside of that, I appreciate you for listening to my experiences on the juice, right? And if you try it, be safe. But peace up. Anytime down. Be great. I'm out of here.